with the season, Barcelona season starting yesterday with an absolutely incredible performance, a 5-star performance against Elche. It seems that Barcelona have set their intentions clear for this season. They are still hungry. They have not rested on their laurels. We are here to get that 3P. And boy, oh boy, did they make a statement yesterday. But what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Omar Talks Barca. And welcome, guys, to yet another episode of your favorite podcast, the Blaugrana podcast. And obviously, you guys know the Blaugrana podcast will be nothing without my fellow guest, man like Barca Boy 103. Our fed brother, what a start to our season. What a beautiful Monday this is, man. Talk to me, bro. How are you feeling on this beautiful Monday, bro?
Feeling good, man. Starting off the season better than I ever would have expected. And, football being back, Champions League draw this week as well. So we're getting into the flow of, getting football back to what we want it to be. And I think it tops it off with an emphatic, great performance from Barcelona over the past weekend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 5-star performance, champions performance. That is exactly what I want to see. That is exactly how all the Barca fans, we were hoping to start our season. Because, look, obviously the transfer window was like this, in my opinion. Many people might say certain items, not yet for me. But I kind of put that all aside. Because I said, for me, first game of the season, don't care about transfer windows, don't care about who's coming in, who's leaving. I just want to see the opening game. I want to see what kind of mindset these players are on this season. And I know people are going to say it's just the first game. Bro, first impressions are everything. First game is everything. You ask Real Madrid fans. I was watching the Madrid game against Espanyol, and after the game, a lot of them were sitting there stressed. I'm like, bro, you just got your 3 points. What are you complaining about? Performance. That first game is everything. It shows you what kind of intention the players are in. And yesterday, and after the performance from Real Madrid, for us the next day to come out and destroy Elche in their own stadium. Not even in our stadium, their own stadium. 5-star performance, 5 goals. It was absolutely incredible. And listen, I'm not counting on my chickens, but it's important to start well. That's the important thing. And obviously, 5-0 goes by Raphinha with 2, Fermín with 2, Karim Adeyemi scoring on his debut, league debut, right? And, a lot of great performances all over the pitch, right? Midfield was pretty good. Fermín, Gavi and Bernal were like the front three started. Obviously, Gavi coming off early. That was really unfortunate. Pedri came on. Pedri had a good game, right? We have still not seen Rodri, which is incredible when you look at what we saw yesterday. Like, bro, when you put Rodri in that midfield, bro, it's halas for everyone. You feel me, right? And and then you're looking in the back, Christensen. Wow, I couldn't believe it when I saw Christensen now. Like, bro, Christensen, bro, I have not seen you in the league game in, good Lord. Bro, I can't even count like the amount of times I've seen you play in the opening games of the season. But he started well alongside Martin. Wasn't 10 out of 10, but he was pretty good, right? And obviously, Eddie Garcia in the fullback position with Xavi Espar, who seems to be Hansi Flick's project this season. But, Hafed, bro, where do you want to start, man? Let's start with the attack. Let's start with the attacking masterclass we saw, man. Because the attack was incredible, right? Every player performed. I would say, honestly, in my opinion, I think the worst player in the attack was actually Lamine Yamal. That's the crazy thing. Like, I'm not... like
you're right.
Yeah, dude. Everyone cooked. Like, for Raphinha cooked in the first 9. Karim Adeyemi played well in his debut. Fermín played in the 10 and cooked. Gordon came off the bench and got 2 assists. Like, bro, I'm like, Yamal, bro, you're supposed to be the star, man. Why are you ghosting, man? What is going on here? But what did you think about like the attack, bro? The attacking class we saw in that game.
Yeah, I think the attack kind of not shadowed the performance, but did glaze what people are saying about how Barcelona did play. Our attack and transition was phenomenal. We were breaking the lines of Elche easily. I think we created maybe a total of, I would say, 8 to 9 chances, scoring 5. So we were very, very clinical as well. We hope we get to see this throughout the whole entire season. But one of the big problems last season was not being clinical with our chances, i.e. Ferran Torres missing sitters, even though he was our top goal scorer last season. But this game showed that, Barcelona can be clinical. You can win games quite, comfortably. The defense as well has some good defensive moments. Post saved us a few times to, keep the clean sheet. But overall, being able to cut open Elche, get in behind their final third with ease, scary hours ahead.
Sure, for sure. And look, when you look at the attack, obviously we don't really have a 9. The only 9 we have is Hamza Abdel Karim, who's still a youngster, who doesn't deserve all that pressure. I look at the performance in the attack yesterday. I don't think that attack, like we can sustain this all season, right? It would be great, but I don't think we can. I still think Barcelona should go out and get a number 9. That is just one, right? Just one that can kind of be like a traditional 9. But I like how Flick set up the team yesterday, because I've been talking about like the idea of a false 9, and we've been talking about the idea of it. And I know we've not really been putting a lot of like effort talking about it that much, but the idea of a false 9 was always something that I kind of had a feeling was going to happen, because I was looking at the way the Alvarez saga was going on. I was like, bro, I don't even know if we're going to sign a striker. Even when before Ferran Torres left, I said, well, I would rather play Raphinha in the 9 than Ferran Torres. So for me, the performance yesterday from Raphinha doesn't surprise me. I knew he could do the false 9. Like, I knew. I think in Flick's first season, we remember, I think, was it at the start of the season? Around some point in the season, he was actually playing Raphinha in the false 9, where he was actually getting the goals. I think that's where his, like, smell for goals actually came from, in my opinion. Like, when he was, like, when Flick started playing him in the false 9, he was, like, going more, direct in attack, right? And we even saw when he moved him back on the left, he still was, like, cutting inside, trying to score, right? And speaking of Raphinha, bro, like, obviously, he's the captain for the season. He played well in this game, right? Got a brace, scored from the spot, right? And, got an assist as well. 2 goals and an assist. I mean, if you look at his record, bro, 177 games, 77 goals, dude. Like, that is incredible. His numbers at Barcelona needs to be studied. And I'm not going to lie to you, man. What a performance from him. I know, I think that, he has a right to become man of the match. I think that, Fermín is another one who's a good shout-out as well, right? But Raphinha, man, what a player. Like, last season, we really missed him. He had so many injuries last season. He just kept on getting injured. Never really had, like, a full, like, two months of, like, injury-freeness, right? He just kept on getting injured. Like, if we can have him a full season not injured, honestly, I think we can really perform this season. Because we saw it in the first season when under Flick, no injuries, put 50 GA that season, and we almost won everything. What do you think of Raphinha? Do you think that if he can have a full fit this season, we can shoot at all fronts with Raphinha?
Yeah, I mean, of course, especially if he gets anywhere close to the run he had 2 seasons ago when he was, in contention for the Ballon d'Or. Most definitely, I think Raphinha up front, if we don't sign a striker, can provide us with something very, very good. I think you see a lot that he leads the press. He shows the intensity. I think him leading the attack in transition as well. Not only did he score 2 goals yesterday, but got the assist as well for the Adeyemi second goal. So he's someone that can get in, between the area, cause some trouble as well. I do question his, finishing, especially playing up front. He did miss. He probably should have had a hat trick in this game, to be honest. With the amount of chances, with the 2 big chances that he did miss. So that's my only worry. You're in the middle of the season, let's say January, February time, you need to score some goals, and he's missing chances that we, draw points or draw games or whatever. So that will be the frustrating thing. Of course, in a 5-0, you won't talk about that, but I do question his finishing. Even if you remember in preseason, he missed a big chance in the Joan Gamper, missed a chance in the Basel game as well, where he was playing up front. I think it was Gordon on the left and Adeyemi on the right. So I think if he's going to be playing more up front, he should be a bit more clinical, which hopefully maybe that will grow as he continues playing that position. But yeah, phenomenal from him in this game. And despite it being Elche, hopefully it is, good signs ahead for the season.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's your first game of the season, man. I'll give him time. I think that, let's be real, right? When you look at, like, some performances like in the attack, especially like Lamine Yamal's. Like I'm not gonna lie, bro. We need to talk about Yamal. Look, obviously I'm not being critical. I know some people are like, Yamal this, Yamal that, but I'm gonna be very real, man. Yamal didn't really have a good World Cup. Let's be real, right? He didn't. I think that is, performance wise, I think apart from the Saudi game, right? Really, I can't really put out like any amount of performance where I can actually say he stood out. Like I'm not saying he was terrible, but he didn't perform to the expectations that I think we football fans expected, right? And in preseason as well, he played the last preseason game. I think he played the John Gamper game, right? And yesterday, not gonna lie, bro, he was really quiet. Like he was surprising. Like I'm not saying he didn't have some moments. Like he had a few moments here and there, but I was surprised because our attack was so good. I expected him to just fall in line. But like he really stuck out with just how bad it was. And you saw him when he got substituted. He looked upset. And I don't think he was upset that he was substituted. I think he was upset at the fact that the attack looked so good and he was like the odd one out. I think he expected like when you see a performance like where you see everybody in the attack doing well, and you kind of feel like you're the only one that's not pulling your weight. He kind of looked like that in my opinion. He looked like very disappointed at his performance. But not gonna lie to you, man. His performances his performances need to be put on the microscope because he's been poor for a while. And I hope that he can find his foot again. But yeah, man, he needs to. What did you think about like Yamal, man? Because he did not look good to me, bro. He's not been looking good to me for a while. Not. I would say since the World Cup. I wouldn't say last season. I think throughout the whole season of last season he was good, but he was injured around the tail end of the season also. So that's another thing. Do you think that because you remember he kind of came back literally right after the World, like literally like his season ended like a few weeks before the season ended, and then he started straight into the World Cup, like playing the first game from the bench. Like, do you think that like there's still a part of him that's still trying to gain fitness? I don't want to make an excuse for it. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not too worried about Lamine. World class player. He's the best player in the world. These kind of moments do happen. Like you mentioned, he's just come back for the first time for Barcelona from injury. He's come back kind of quickly post World Cup. You see him out of the Spanish players. Him and Joan Garcia have been the one playing most minutes. We haven't seen Kubarsi yet. We've barely seen Dani Olmo. We've barely seen Pedri. Pedri was kind of forced in this game to play because of Gavi's injury. If Gavi wasn't injured, Pedri probably would have gotten little to no minutes in this game as well. So it's been like Lamine, being forced and being push to play miss, but he had some good moments in the game. Maybe not in terms of his finishing in the final third, but he was impactful. He had some good dribbles, some good touch, good control. But I think, to be honest, he didn't really get involved in the game. A lot of the attack was down the left-hand side with Adeyemi, Rafa, Xavi, Spart, and Bernal, kind of that triangle down there. And then, of course, even when Anthony Gordon came on as well, everything's going down his side. So it wasn't really, I don't think he had a poor game per se, but just was really involved because I think the phases of play weren't really being attracted to him. He was getting double teamed a lot. There were some moments where he would beat the double press, some moments where he lost the ball in the double press as well, but I'm not too worried. I think he will grow in the season, in the next few games as well. There's no doubt in my mind with Lamine.
I mean, we'll see, man. We will see. I mean, look, shout outs to also players like Xavi Spart, right? He's been playing quite well since preseason, and Flick seems to trust this kid, right? He really seems to trust this kid, and with Alejandro Balde on the verge of leaving, and the fact that Xavi Spart is very versatile. The guy can play in the midfield, he can also play on left back, and he did so well at left back. I was like, you know what? I can see why Flick doesn't really mind losing Balde, because we're gonna see Cancelo back, right, and all these guys back later on, right? I don't think he's going to be starting every single week, but if he performs like this, because here's the thing, man, the sky's the limit, and we know when it comes to Flick, when players perform and they keep performing and performing, he's going to give them a chance, right? And Xavi Spart is a good example of that. And we know every season Flick is doing this, where he keeps giving opportunities to certain young players to kind of break through, and then when they perform, boom, they're still in the team. They're on the bench, but they're starting most games. That's what he tried to do with Bernal before his ACL injury. And then you saw when Bernal came back last season, he took his sweet time with him. Like, we were like, yo, Bernal is fit. Why is Bernal play? I think Bernal didn't even play regularly until 2026 for nearly enough. remember, like the first half of the season, he was like barely getting played. There was talks about like him being taken like sent on loan. I heard people saying like, yeah, let's take Bernard on loan since Flick doesn't trust him. But in January, things changed. Flick started playing him, and before you know it, dude, he started starting him before February. He was starting games. And I think when it comes to Espar, dude, same thing applies more with my opinion. Well, like if he continues to play like this, Flick is gonna have no reason to keep to bench him. And I love it, man. I want to see more of these young players break into the squad, man. It's just more wins for us, for real. But yeah, man, what a performance, man. 10 out of 10 performance, and long may it continue. Let's actually move on, man, because I actually want to talk about something else, right? Let's talk about a little about what we saw in the Atletico game. Now, I'm not worried. I didn't watch the Atletico game, right? I don't have time to watch and haram football, respectfully, dude. I got too much time in my day to be doing other stuff. But obviously, let's talk about the highlights of the game. Man, like Julian. Brother, I was watching all of the pictures from the moment he walked into the stadium, when he was on the bench, when he got brought in, when he left the pitch before everyone else. And brother, if I want to get out of here or I don't want to be here had a face, it would be that. Like, brother, this guy wasn't even attempting to even try to show that he wants to be there. Like, it reminds me, Hafid, in 2020, when Messi said he wanted to leave, right? And the club were kind of standing in his way, Bartomeu and all these guys, right? And he said, listen, I have in my contract. I said, if I want to leave, I could leave. They tried to, like, say, oh, no, the deal is like this. And even, like, they tried to advise Messi to take it to court. And Messi was like, nah, man, I'm not taking Barca to court. You understand what I mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Messi returned, everyone knew he wanted to leave. But Messi didn't show it. Messi came back. He was training. He didn't look miserable. I mean, maybe he looked unhappy, but I think he wasn't unhappy that he was staying. I think he was unhappy at the fact that he was still playing under these guys, under the guys who were still in charge. Because he just hated them so much that he didn't want to even play for the club under them. That's why you noticed that after Bartomeu resigned, you saw how more positive he was. And I was like, this is the difference. The guy never wanted to really leave. He didn't want to play under those guys anymore. Those guys lied to him so many times that he didn't trust a word that came out of their mouth.
Yeah.
So he came back, was professional, right? Didn't show any signs of any like discomfort, discontent. Because if he did, the media would put it plastered everywhere. But Messi was like calm, relaxed, played football, was enjoying, looked like he was enjoying his football, scoring goals, celebrating. That Julian Alvarez, dude. When I saw him on the bench, my guy, every time they put the camera on him, they were booing him. He did not look like he gave a damn. I'm like, brother, this guy looks like, dude, I was like, if I don't give a damn how to face, that was it right there. Like, I've never seen Julian Alvarez look that pissed. Like, the man looked depressed, the guy looked pissed, the guy looked like everything. Like, all in one. And then, obviously, after the game, they were doing the celebration, they were doing the clapping, and then he walked out. And it's funny because Simeone came out and tried to save face and say, oh, the club told him to not go and clap the fans. I'm like, first of all, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I 100% don't believe. You know why? Because why would the club, who are trying to basically end the saga, right? Why would they tell the player that is being booed to not go to the fans and try to make peace with the fans? Why? Like, bro, if he's going to stay for the rest of the season, isn't the idea of let's just bury the hatchet and, bring this, you know what I mean, right? Let's all vibe together and, focus on the season?
Mm.
Like, this is my point. This is why I don't believe it, dude. I think that was they're saving face there. I don't think the club told him to do that. I think Alvarez himself just could not be bothered. I think Alvarez was like, dude, I don't care. I don't care, and they're just trying to say because they can't be like, oh, Alvarez didn't wanna thank the fans. They can't come out and say that because guess what? If they say that, dude, that's like putting gasoline in the fire. That's just gonna give the fans more reason to not ever want to see this guy play for their club again. or they're going to boo him for the rest of the season if they know that was his plan. But they're trying to save face and say, no, Alvarez would have definitely gone down there and clapped the fans. But the club told him, no, you don't have to clap the fans. You can go straight to the tunnel. BS. Straight up BS. But the reason I'm bringing this up, Hafid, is because I'm not going to lie to you, Hafid. I think this saga is not done. I think after what we saw yesterday, I think we could start Alvarez on deadline day. I know, I'm not even like, I'm being serious, Hafid. Because remember when Lewandowski came back from preseason? When Bayern Munich were being party poopers, and he went to training session and he looked so depressed that they just sold him the next day. I think that the way Alvarez is acting, just like, because they can't force him to smile. The club cannot force him to be happy. He's like, okay, I can stay, but guess what, guys? You guys are gonna get the real me, because you guys know I don't want to be here. But since you guys want me here, fine. I'm not going to throw any tantrums, but you're not going to see me happy to be here because I'm not happy to be here. You're going to see the real feelings that I have. So when the fans are looking at this guy who doesn't want to be at their club, showing an absolute ounce of no care in the world, the fans are going to be like, no. Dude, there is absolutely no way you want this guy wearing that shirt. And I think that the Barcelona come back in 150. I think Atletico Madrid might actually say, you know what, man, nah, bro. Like, man, at the end of the day, for the fans, for both parties, I think we just have to just end this saga and just let him F off. You understand what I mean, right? But I genuinely, I'm telling you how fair, I'm not even kidding, dude. Something tells me we could see something by deadline day. The next bid that we make might be the one to get us Alvarez. I know they're saying the saga is over, but I don't know. I don't know, Hafid, because I thought it was over too until I saw yesterday. I was like, oh, no, there's going to be consequences to this. There's going to be consequences to this. But yeah, what do you think?
I mean, I've seen a lot of people kind of say what you're saying, right? After what happened in the game against Villarreal, that all might be back on. I mean, I think Atletico should still, obviously having a player in that scenario, especially a star, big player like them, one of the faces of the club doing that. I mean, even Simeone was saying, like, look, we need strikers. How Atleti build their success is having elite forwards that want to play for the club, like Diego Costa, Suarez, David Villa, Fernando Torres, whatever it may be, right? You can't, I mean, it's just such a horrible situation for Julian, and they're at a point where it's like, there's no way they can turn it around and pause the situation for them. I think Atletico know what they have to sell, and they're willing to sell to absolutely anyone from Barcelona. But Julian Alvarez wants to only go to Barcelona, and Barcelona only want Julian Alvarez. I think, just to maybe agree with you a little bit, I think if there was a deal to happen the next week, deadline day, it probably would be for around 140, 150 million, which I think we're just overpaying too much for Julian at that point. I came into the summer saying, look, I would have paid more than 100. Now we're going to 150. So it's a huge. I think that makes him the third most expensive player of all time after Mbappe and Neymar. So this is not, some, cheap ass, easy, small deal. I think Atletico are too deep to now buckle, right? They've been talking the whole summer. We're not going to sell. We're not going to sell. Give us Bad Bunny concert tickets. We're not going to sell. We're not giving them to Barcelona. Never, ever, ever. Their CEO has come out saying it twice in the past 3 weeks. We're not going to sell to Barcelona. We don't want to strengthen our rival. Just for them to give us Julian the final day would be hilarious. Would be crazy. Would be unbelievable. But I don't think it'll happen. I think Atletico would be willing to sell to anyone. I think keep your eyes on Arsenal. I think Arsenal could be a move. If Julian said yes to Arsenal, I think he would have been an Arsenal player by now.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Arsenal are willing to pay that kind of fee as well. That's the thing, right? They want a huge fee, which Barcelona and kind of anyone else that want Julian don't want to pay for him. When you make the player a promise, but say they happened with Isak. This exact situation that's happened with Julian exactly happened to Isak last summer.
Yeah, but Isak
I want to leave.
With a deadline day, right?
You're correct. Yes, but the whole cycle, he said he wanted to leave. Newcastle said no. Liverpool said we want him. Isak's like, oh, you promised I could leave this summer. Newcastle like, no. But where's the difference? Isaac took action. Julian is there turning up for photo shoots and training and going to games and stuff. Julian just trying to be. I think if Julian went on strike and wasn't listening, I think Atleti would have sold. But he's there. He's being nice. Like, okay, I'll come to training. I'm playing games. Isaac went on strike. There was the PFA, right? Which is
Dude, I remember. Yes, I saw that. I remember the whole saga. And that saga.
And Isaac boycotted that because he did not want to represent Newcastle in that. Like, I really wanted to win the award.
Even put it out there. Like,
I said, look, I wanted to win the award. I'm very happy to be there, but with my situation right now, I cannot be there because promises are not being kept. So I don't think it will happen. Just to summarize my point, I don't think Julian will join Barcelona. I think if he was going to join, he would have joined. The best time to have him to join would have been before the World Cup or right after the World Cup. I think right now it's too far gone with a week left. Even to, we have an agreement on personal terms, which is good. But even to, struct a deal with Atleti for the third highest player in the history of the sport in under a week is not easy. Compiling a bid, getting the money prepared. Because Atleti probably want all the money up front. I don't think they'll take installments, which, every deal in world football is done in installments apart from release clauses. But Atleti might say, okay, we'll sell you. They'll probably hit us up tomorrow. We'll sell you Julian, but we want the whole entire money right now. And Barcelona going to be like, well, nobody has that kind of liquid cash on them, obviously. Even for Gordon, we probably didn't pay 70, probably maybe 10 or 20 for him. It's going to be advertised throughout his contract, so that's how they're going to pay it off. This is how all transfers in the world are done, apart from release clauses. Only release clauses you have to pay the entire amount up front at once. So I can see why you're optimistic. I can see why the fans say, "Oh, look, it could happen." But I think if it was gonna happen, it would have happened already.
It's not necessarily about optimism for me, Javier. It's just one of those things where I look at it and I'm like, because listen. Everyone was calling me negative because I said that the deal is likely not to happen because I don't think Alvarez really has that dog in him to actually go out and burn his entire legacy at Atletico Madrid to get this move. I was telling people about this. This is why I was kept on talking about Deco and talking about the plan Bs and stuff like that. Be serious about the plan Bs. Be serious because this guy doesn't seem like he really wants to. He's too nice. And sometimes you need dogs, dude. Because if Alvarez was like Isaac, I would have never even thought of a plan B. I'd be like, no, don't worry, man. Alvarez is gonna nuke his entire Atletico Madrid career. Watch him do it. But when I was looking at Alvarez, the way he was kind of like quietly just talking behind the scenes, telling his friends, I'm happy, I want to go to join Barcelona. But he wasn't really showing any of it. I was like, nah, man, you're not doing enough. This is the first time, in my opinion, throughout the saga, we've actually seen Alvarez really show any kind of ounce that, I am not happy. This is the first time, dude. This is like, dude, you waited until the opening game of the season when the club already told you you're gonna stay, for you to finally show the world, I am pissed. I don't want to be here. You should have had this energy throughout the transfer window. When you went to transfer, when you went to training, you should have looked pissed off in training. You should have looked pissed off everywhere. So people can be like, this guy, dude. Like, how long are Atletico Madrid gonna keep this guy around, dude? This guy is actually embarrassing the club at this point with the way he's.
Everyone, and the thing is, what's crazy, Omar, is that everyone wants him to leave apart from the Atletico Madrid CEO, which is Simeone. Simeone, the players, the Atleti players want him to go. The Atleti fans, Simeone is down with it as long as he gets a replacement. It's just the CEO, so it's like, I don't know. I still to this day do not know why they're so upset at Barcelona. I seriously do not get it. We've approached this deal every.
Let me tell you what it is, Hafid. I'll tell you.
I guess it's their star players. They've won two. They've won 2 league titles in my lifetime, probably in your lifetime too. Yes. 2013, 2021. Both of them they won it because we gave them our star strikers and they went and they won it. And we don't care. We don't bring that up. We still do deals with them. Yep. We gave them Griezmann on a plate. For free after spending 120 million on him.
Think about it, right? If you look at the track record of the players they've sold us to the players we sold them, we've actually sold them better players than they've ever sold us. Most of the players they've sold to us have flopped at our club.
I know, but that's why I don't understand why they're so. Barcelona, we hate them. They did this, but I mean, we want your player. We agree personal terms.
See, what is it? You know what it is?
Oh, let's hear it. Omar's got the answers.
No, it's pride. See, this is the problem. You see Atletico Madrid's CEO. He's built this Atletico Madrid team to compete with Barcelona and Real Madrid as a 3-way Not Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Atletico Madrid are just in the corner. No, he wants it to be a big three, right? 3 teams can challenge for the big one. And them winning 2 league titles made them think, yeah, this is a big three. The problem is they don't realize, bro, it's not a big three. Okay? Because when Barcelona and Real Madrid are playing at their best, you guys can compete against us. Years have proven that. The only year that you guys competed against us really was in 2013-2014, because that season we competed for the league, but we were looking at the Champions League. Real Madrid were competing for La Decima. They bailed out of the title race. We, after we got knocked out of the Champions League by Atletico Madrid, is when we really started taking the Champions League seriously. The league title seriously. Because we knew that was the only trophy we could win. We lost the Copa del Rey to Real Madrid when Bale scored that goal. You understand what I mean? So we were going for that time. That's why we went all the way to the final day. 2020-2021, bro. Barcelona and Real Madrid both took vacations that season. Let's just call it for what it is. Both of us were garbage that season. Real Madrid and Barcelona. That's why Atletico Madrid, they were just consistent enough, and they had Suarez who was still cooking for them to just pull them over the line. But brother, when Barcelona and Real Madrid come to play in La Liga, dude, Atletico Madrid don't compete. Doesn't matter how many great players they have. No matter how they start the season. Sometimes they start the season and then it's a 3-horse race and then they get to January and then they can't hang anymore. And this is the issue. They built their club to be challenging Barcelona and Real Madrid, and now their best player, their project, their prince, the guy that basically was supposed to be the face of this project that was supposed to compete, said, I want to leave to go and join one of the teams that you're trying to compete against. One of the teams that you're trying to be at the same level of. That is what it is. Their pride is broken. Basically, Alvarez has said, brother, you guys are not Barcelona. You're not Real Madrid. You are not at their level. You understand what I mean, right? I'm sorry, but you're not. Yeah, we can try to compete, but brother, when it comes down to it, I would leave this club if Barcelona want me. If Real Madrid want me. I mean, Barcelona are the ones that I really want them, right? But the moment that we kind of looked at him as the face of our striking project, his head was already turned. And that is what hurts them. That's why they are more than happy to sell him to Arsenal. That's why they're more than happy to sell him to everyone except Barcelona. Because at the end of the day, dude, if he sells him to Barcelona, basically that's him saying, okay, bro, no matter how many good players we have, Barcelona can just come in and just sweep and take our players. That's what this is about. This is why they're being stubborn. That's why the president is being stubborn, dude. That's why I said his pride is broken. This is about pride. This is not about him trying to keep Alvarez against his will. He will sell Alvarez, but he will sell him to anyone apart from Barcelona. That's what it is. That's what I think, in my opinion. But in fact, we're going to see. We are going to see, man. Because I'm telling you, man, I think the saga is not over, in my opinion. But, yeah, man. Listen, guys. Let us know what you guys think about everything we've talked about in this podcast, guys. What did you guys think about that opening game performance against Elche, guys? What do you guys think about the performance? Who did we miss out on players that we called out in this game, guys? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And also, guys, what do you guys think about this Alvarez saga, guys? You guys think that there's still one more bid in there at the end of the transfer window, guys? Let me know in the comment section below. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to Barca Boy 103, guys. Link is in the collab, guys. So make sure you guys go subscribe to him. And guys, listen, we're going to be doing a show on this channel, guys, okay? We're still working on it, guys. So you guys could see me on this channel this week at some point. So yeah, man. Big up to every single one of you guys. As always, make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. And as always, Fesca Barca. Take care.